Welcome back to our channel. Today we will present a new storyboard about risk bias in scientific research. So let's know our team today. Dr. Susan is an esteemed medical professional with expertise in internal medicine, specifically in the field of endocrinology and diabetes. She is dedicated to providing exceptional care to her patients and is affiliated with the General Specialized Hospital, a reputable medical institution situated in the city center. One aspect that sets Dr. Susan apart is her commitment to research. She actively engages in research activities. Dr. Ryan holds the second role in our today's storyboard. He serves as a specialist in obesity surgeries, specifically for cases where conventional treatments involving medications and dietary plans have proven ineffective. Dr. Ryan is renowned for his keen interest in conducting clinical research and contemporary studies alongside research teams. This collaborative approach enables him to develop optimal treatment plans tailored to the individual health conditions of his patients. Dr. Clark is a nephrology consultant and works at the same hospital as Dr. Ryan. He is known for his passion for scientific research and serves as the chief editor for multiple scientific journals. As the chief editor, Dr. Clark is responsible for overseeing the publication process, ensuring the accuracy and quality of the scientific content. He collaborates with researchers, reviewers, and fellow editors to select and publish relevant and impactful studies in his field.
Dr. Susan decided to collect data for her research about the new line of treatment for her diabetic patients. Her study focused on the effectiveness of a new treatment for diabetes. She realized that recruiting participants from her hospital will not be convenient. The hospital mainly serves patients with severe diabetes cases, potentially excluding patients with milder forms of the disease. This selection bias could affect the generalizability of the study's findings. She was also expecting the detection bias. Her co-investigator, Dr. Samir, will be aware about the test results, interprets the clinical symptoms differently for patients who tested positive compared to those who tested negative. This detection bias can lead to an overestimation or underestimation of the true diagnostic accuracy of the test. From his side, Dr. Ryan was going to do a clinical trial in his hospital evaluating the impact of a lifestyle intervention on obesity. The intervention group receives additional support and counseling last month, while the control group only receives standard care. The difference in intervention intensity may introduce performance bias, as participants in the intervention group may be more motivated to adhere to the program, leading to exaggerated treatment effects. In another study comparing to hypertensive drugs, he was obnoxious about the conflict of interest of the drug used. The hospital has a vested interest in promoting one drug over the other, potentially introducing bias in the study design, data collection, analysis, or interpretation. This conflict of interest bias can compromise the objectivity and reliability of the study's findings. Finally, Dr. Clark, as an editor-in-chief of one of the top-tier journals, he reported to issues in the systematic review manuscript submitted to the journal last week. One of the studies reported a significant number of patients drop out of the study without consideration in the analysis. If the patients who dropped out had different outcomes compared to those who remained in the study, attrition bias may lead to an inaccurate estimation of the treatment's effectiveness. Dr. Clark was also obnoxious about reporting bias. Mostly, studies with positive results are published, while studies with negative or inconclusive results remain unpublished or are not easily accessible. In summary, risk of bias could be selection bias, performance bias, detection bias, attrition bias, reporting bias, conflict of interest bias. That's all for today's story about risk of bias in scientific research. If you like our video, subscribe to our channel and click notification bell for more video. If you need more details about risk of bias, feel free to leave a comment. Happy researching!